I'm getting the most beautiful text messages. I just want to say the gratitude people are showing me. I feel weird when people say, Charlie, congratulations. I'm like, man, I didn't get married. The country is saved. This is your victory as much as mine. Do you know what I mean?
I'm like, we're not done yet.
Well, okay,
we're not done yet.
That's the stream for later.
But I don't even realize that it's even a victory for liberals in the end. Like,
no, it's a better
in a better country.
It's like avoiding World War III is objectively good for libs.
Yes.
Like a secure border.
So here's
this is a victory for every human being on the planet. This is good for Ukrainians right now that are getting mowed down.
Well, I mean, and to the Joe Scarborough point, he made some great points. You and I were watching it live, and
I was watching it on my phone, YouTube TV, with Erica in bed. I was like,
I had to watch it.
Still up. It's 4.
No, I had to watch it.
Of course I was.
I couldn't sleep till 5.
Well, so okay, so there was a certain NBC reporter that said we didn't have a ground game, so I had to call a certain NBC reporter and debate that fact with him.
He's short.
And then I started watching Joe Scarborough, and I said, you know what? To be honest, to his credit, Joe got this mostly right. I thought he was going to be apoplectic, like a Nazi in the White House. This is a first, whatever. And he actually was like, "Hey, we have an issue with immigration. We got to knock off this woke stuff." I mean, it was really interesting to hear that take. But here's the deal, Charlie. When it comes to ground game, I'll still concede that the Democrats have more canvassers across the board, and they have unions, but they didn't have the union as much this time, which is a key insight. But secondly, if they don't like what you're selling, you can knock on all the doors you want. I'm thinking of those text messages from your friend that was knocking on public housing doors, and they're like, "Oh, we're voting for Trump." It was,
even more telling, talking to hearing 10-year-olds over say like, "I think my parents like Trump."
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so you want to say, you know what? Before I went to sleep, I looked up. I said, my student polls are undefeated. Remember, I told you guys those student polls. So it's so funny. We hosted Donald Trump in Vegas, and we hosted him this is actually when the Tucker Trump event. So I'm holding court with the Trump team because they're exhausted, right? So I actually had some energy. It was Scavino, it was Caporal, all these guys. I was like, I'm going to leave you with one last piece of data. And they're like, what, Charlie? I was like, every 4 years in the state of Maine, 8th graders are polled on who they think should become president of the United States. And they're rolling their eyes. In 2016, Trump won narrowly. In 2020, Trump got crushed. In 2024, Trump won by 12 points. And they were like, what is the significance? I said, when 8th grader is mirroring what they're hearing at home. It's a reflection of a culture. It's way more accurate than a poll because these 8th graders are unfiltered.
It's two things. It's mirroring what they hear at home from their parents, and it's mirroring like
social media
18 to 22-year-olds that they watch on YouTube.
Totally. And so, and there, I was like, and I trust that more than any public poll. And I said, see you guys later. And I was like, hope we win. And that was like, and honestly, of all the data that I thought, it was these student polls. The California one was close. The Minnesota one was close. These 8th grade polls are actually way more accurate than anything Nate Silver put out. Is more accurate than any of these like multi-million. I'm not right, Blake. I'm not wrong here.
Nate Silver being still
50-50.
Can we tweet this out? The student polls have ended up being a greater predictor of who runs the country than our no, seriously, than our incredibly sophisticated polling class.
Oh, can we just say
and bakery sales?
Has anybody Has anybody done a wellness check on Ann Seltzer this morning?
She's gone completely silent, by the way.
Yeah, did she retire already?
By the way, to her great credit, her Social Security won't be taxed.
She's let's just put her out to pasture now, because what an all-time god-awful, terrible, historically embarrassing dumpster fire of a poll. Ann Seltzer, the gold standard, the Des Moines County, whatever, Des Moines Register. Like, I mean,
that wasn't just a miss, man. Donald Trump ended up, by the way, I think because of the poll, more people showed up in Iowa.
Yeah.
I think the poll like electrified Iowa,
hold on,
right?
Hold on.
People?
I
know you don't.
Trump ended up winning Iowa by 13.2 points. Okay?
That's a 16.2 point miss.
That is the worst polling miss in the. And she's like explaining to Mark Halperin, well, what does R&D mean? And I had some very in-depth conversations.
I didn't actually see that.
Oh
clip.
no, it's legit.
Was she actually being serious when she said that? Hold on. I need to
can't.
throw
Guys, I
this
can't.
picture up.
I'm gonna have a
Kylie.
heart attack today. I can't do this.
Kylie, throw this picture up. This right here. Look at this. This is remember I just sent you the screen grab. Trump's advisor on election turnout, voter turnout, is straight up panicking. Trump's turnout mastermind panics.
Yeah.
We need more.
By the way, I mean, again, I know all of you this week. We will go methodically and tweet at every single one of you and humiliate you because we actually had a ground game and we're gonna have a great story to tell, and it's not over. To Tyler's point, Carrie Lake can become a U.S. senator. It's like, again, we'll get there, and that would be a story to tell. Again, no guarantees, but that is a real thing. And to be clear, without turning point action and our advocacy in Wisconsin, I don't think we win Wisconsin. I don't think Donald Trump would have gotten the call last night.
We have the numbers.
I have the numbers.
We have the numbers.
Yeah, we have the data to prove it.